Testing 1, 2, 3. It sounds like it's on. Oliver, can you hear me? Oliver, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's do a little more talking. It's coming. I'm still talking. It's not particularly loud back here. Oliver, can you hear me? I don't think Oliver can hear me. No, he can't hear me. There's nothing coming through this mic right now. Keep going. We can't hear it. There's nothing. So, but we need to get a little more volume. Let's pump it up a little bit. Pump that sucker up. Here we go, Waisel. Get that louder, because I can't hear anything. I can hear Ian Kieran talking. There we go. Oliver, can you hear me? Oliver, how you doing? Can you hear me okay? Good, fantastic. Great, thank you.
And your dog sucks. Your dog takes a call when you say
Do we have a spare one of these back here?
are you okay with me using this again? It disappeared. The skull on that piano is nice.
We thought so. So we figured we'd leave it. What's that? Yeah. You know where it is. You could. Speaking of, where did I leave it? Good morning.
Good morning.
Please Rise and body your spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, Sacred Circle. I am entering into a sacred circle, entering into a sacred space. I will open my heart and quiet my mind for the blessings about to unfold, for the blessings about to unfold. I am entering into a sacred circle, entering into a sacred space. I will open my heart and quiet my mind for the blessings about to unfold, for the blessings about to unfold. Thank you. Good morning. I am Heather Norby, the Spiritual Life Director for this congregation, and I use the pronouns she and her.
Good morning. My name is Ben Basili, and I serve this congregation as a worship associate. I use the pronouns he and him.
Our opening words were written by Tracy Sprouse-Jenks and adapted to include the new wording of our shared value of interdependence.
Welcome to our annual animal blessing. We take time once a year with this formal ceremony to give thanks and bless our companions in life. Cats, dogs, birds and chickens, turtles and fish, and so much more. This ceremony also acknowledges that our lives are made fuller and richer by the creatures that inhabit the earth with us, not just those who live with us.
Animal blessings originate out of the Catholic tradition. However, many Unitarian Universalist congregations have adopted this practice and have made it a uniquely UU type of blessing. Our value of interdependence states that we honor the interdependent web of all existence with reverence for the great web of life, and with humility we acknowledge our place in it. We covenant to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation. We will create and nurture sustainable relationships of care and respect, mutuality and justice. We will work to repair harm and damaged relationships. This is the underlying motivation for our blessing of the animal service today.
Before we begin, let me expand your understanding of the word blessing. A blessing is a wish of gratitude or happiness towards a person or animal or thing. It is for this purpose that we come together today to acknowledge how our lives have been blessed by our animal friends and to express our happiness and gratitude that they make this so.
But first, let us honor our human connections and the blessings they bring before we bring up our animal friends with our call to community. Because in order to build this community, we need love and connection, and that will lead to spiritual and ethical transformation. So this Wednesday, we will have a Creativity Matters session. There's a packet that you can find in the newsletter that gives you different creative exercises to do. If you haven't had a chance to do it, that's okay. Come on out anyway, and we'll just be creative together. That's at 6:30 on Wednesday here in the sanctuary. Let's see, next Saturday, we are having a celebration of life service in honor of our dear friend, Glenda Littlehale. This will be at 2 o'clock here in the sanctuary on Saturday. And Petra asked that you come ready to speak about Glenda or to recite a poem that Glenda loved or that reminds you of Glenda, maybe sing a song, play an instrument, any sort of creative thing, because those of you who knew Glenda know that she was a very creative person, and she would appreciate any sort of sharing that you could do as we honor her life. If you have questions, please call or text Petra, yes, Petra, and she will answer them for you. So please join us on Saturday at 2 p.m. Oh, bring a covered dish or a snack. Finger foods. Yes, thank you. If you are interested in joining a UU Christian group here at UUCL, you can talk to Tim about that or email Helen in the office at contact@uuclakeland.org.
May I say something about that?
Okay.
That's just an interest in Christianity. If you're not a Christian, if you are a Christian, where Christians have come from, where they're going, and the UU today.
Thank you.
So everybody can talk.
Yes, everybody's welcome. Next Sunday, for our collection, we are going to do a special project collection in which the plate will be shared with the Social Justice Committee because we have no budget and Sherry is my chair now and we are going to get things moving. So we're asking for you all to just donate a little bit so we can have a budget for social justice and do some great things. Finally, I want to say thank you to all of you who attended our Classic Monster Dinner Theater last night. The event was a lot of fun. It was well attended. It's still a mess around here, or it's decorated nicely. Come on, those are great. And we had a great time. I don't know yet how much money we raised. I'll let you know next week. But also, we had many volunteers. Raise your hand if you volunteer. Yeah, because you know what, y'all? These volunteers worked their butts off. Or their feet, because as I tell you what, I know my feet were hurting, and I imagine theirs were too, because they were, serving food and running back and forth and decorating, and I'm just so grateful to all of our volunteers who made this happen, because we couldn't have done it without you. And of course, Allison from Red Tent was in the kitchen getting that food going with all of her helpers, so that was great. So yeah, we raised some money. The proceeds will be split between us and Red Tent, so it was a great time. Thank you all. Okay, and of course, check the back of your order of service for more announcements and our e-newsletter, which Marcia puts out every Monday. Thank you. Let's get our chalice lit. Do we have a chalice lighter? That was supposed to be my job today. Okay, well, hold on just a sec. Hold on. I was just preparing. Let us create this sacred space by lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. I offer you these chalice lighting words from Mark Causey. We light this chalice, spark of the original fire of creation, to remind us that we, all of us on this planet, the furred, the feathered, the finned, and the scaled, along with us featherless bipeds, we are all made of the same star stuff and all share a common destiny. We all share the same hopes of a life free from harm and suffering, and the same aspirations of happiness, love, and flourishing, being able to express our own unique natures and capacities as best we may. We are just that many diverse perspectives from which the whole is seen and experienced. We are inextricably intertwined, interconnected, and interdependent, and it is good. Blessed be. Tim, would you please do us the honor of lighting our chalice? Thank you. Let us sing and sign hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
Will
a message for all ages today, so if the young and young at heart would like to come forward, they may. They might not want to leave the animals behind, huh? Yes. The scary spooky skeleton. Oh, it is so good to see you all. How you doing? You good? We're good? We're good. All right. So this month, we've been exploring the practice of deep listening. If you were in the ocean, what might you hear? A whale? You might hear a whale. Do whales talk? No? Yes? Dolphins? Do dolphins talk? Yes? Yeah. Okay, okay. They don't, yeah? They sing. Oh. Well, we're gonna practice listening right now. I'm gonna play something. Hopefully the mic will pick it up so everybody can hear. Are you ready to listen? Deep listening. Are you ready? Close. Not a blue whale. The dogs are deep listening. No, it's a whale. Humpback whale. That's pretty cool. Okay, now what are they saying? Dinner plans? Need help? Yeah. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Well, I read today that scientists have discovered that whales may actually have a phonetic alphabet in their calls. Whoa. That's impressive. This says the sounds whales make have different features such as rhythm, tempo, rubato. What's that? Okay. Thank you, musicians. And ornamentation. Okay, they decorate their sounds. These features can be combined to form a large repertoire of phrases, and the meaning can be adjusted by the placement of the codas. Wow. Also, some experiments have shown that whales can learn human sign language and use whistles to communicate with humans. Yeah. Did you know that about whales? Well, I would say these scientists have been listening deeply to the whales and figuring this out. And these whales have something to say, and I think we can all listen. What do you think? That would be cool. Well, that was my deep listening practice for you today. You're welcome. But I am going to ask you to help me with something else today. I'm going to light the healing candle. And as I light it, I want you to name the different animals that you think about that live in this world that maybe need some help. Like whales. Do whales need our help? Yeah, because our oceans are getting polluted. Polar bears. Yeah, polar bears. Great. So I'm going to go light the candle. Turtles? Yes. Yeah, just call them out. What animals need our help? Florida mountain lions,
Elephants, sheep,
elephants,
snails,
sheep,
moose, eagle, spiders, lobsters,
lobsters,
llamas,
armadillos. There's so many. There's so many.
llamas,
Llamas? What'd you say? Monkeys, different kinds of monkeys, chimpanzees, gorillas. They need our help. Pandas, yeah, they're losing their homes, and there's not very many of some of these species left.
rainbow llamas,
Rainbow llamas,
unicorns, the
the
unicorns.
unicorns. Well, when we start deep listening to the animals, definitely, we can learn better how to help them. Thank you all for helping me with the healing candle. You can stay here. I'm going to introduce joys and sorrows, and then I'll let you come put a stone in. Okay? And then we'll move on with our blessing of the animals. How does that sound? Okay, great.
Of course, the rare rainbow.
Hey, the rainbow.
Mama, she said that.
Our ritual of the sharing of joys, concerns, and sorrows embodies the belief that there is power in being together and in holding one another in the significant, the precious, the hard, and the joyful moments of our lives. Is anything written in the Joys and Sorrows book, Jerry?
What's the date today?
The 20th.
Thank you. Someone has written, I am happy to be here. My cats are happy to be at home.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes cats don't really like blessing of the animals. Well, I invite you now to come forward and place a colored stone representing your joys, concerns, and sorrows into the water. Each stone that we drop into the water represents a different thing that you may need in the midst of this moment. So you are invited now to come forward and drop in whatever stone or stones feels meaningful to you. Thank you. in for our friends on Zoom or Facebook. Thank you. Thank you. Here we gather, tucked back in this friendly neighborhood between the beautiful tall pines. We are a community of people who have arrived from many different paths, yet we seek a common goal: to bring more love to a hurting but beautiful world. As Unitarian Universalists, we aspire to reach this goal through our shared values, one of which is the value of equity. To embrace equity, we declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. And we covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. Our ushers will now pass the plate so that we may live into our value of equity. Thank you. Let us just take a moment. It may or may not be a quiet moment, but let's take a moment to center and contemplate that which we are exploring this month, the practice of deep listening. Does deep listening mean listening that connects you to the interdependent web of all existence? What happens when we listen deeply to our animal companions, or to the wild birds, or even the cows in the pasture? What other animals do you hear when you stop and listen deeply? What do you learn from them? How does it change you and your relationships with animals? Ben has a reading for us today.
Reading today is from an internet author named Andrew. It's called The Importance of Love with Animals. And she says, I've journeyed through the fascinating world of animal-human relationships, and I'm at the end now. It's vital for us to understand how deep our bonds with animals can go. Our connections with them are not just about companionship. They're about mutual respect, coexistence, and shared emotions. Love towards animals has shown multiple benefits for us humans. Studies indicate that being around animals can lower stress levels and boost our mood. They don't judge or hold grudges. Their love is unconditional. But it's not a one-way street. Animals, too, benefit from our affection. A home filled with love can provide sheltered dogs or cats a second chance at life while providing an enriching environment for pets. Let me emphasize this. Loving animals teaches us empathy and compassion, shaping us into better individuals overall. As we take care of them, we learn our responsibilities and kindness, traits that extend beyond our interactions with animals. So let's cherish those wonderful creatures who give us so much and ask for so little in return. Let's continue to appreciate them every day because the importance of love with animals cannot be overstated. In a world where there is often too much hate going around, let us choose to spread more love, especially towards those who wag their tails or purr in response.
And now we will sing together hymn number 175. We celebrate the web of life, and it's in the gray hymnal.
And the tune sounds like this.
Still yourself and listen, and soon, in time, the mystery will begin to speak to you through its 1,000 disguises as life on earth.
A quick aside, if you will permit me. I was so glad that the Words for All Ages, including our friends in the sea. And as a Disney aficionado, I have to say that I've always been a big fan of Ariel. Can you guys tell me what Ariel's favorite game show is? Wheel of Fortune. Sorry, that was just spontaneous. I'm so sorry.
You wouldn't expect me not to tell you Disney.
Hey, I'm getting over with this crowd today. So. All right. Now, folks, some considerations to keep in mind today as we think about our great love for our pets and our animal friends more broadly. It's a matter of great importance to treat the earth, our common home, with reverence and compassion. And to extend this compassion to all of Earth's inhabitants, not just to humans, those of us walking around on two legs with opposable thumbs and somewhat more capable brains. I really love this celebration each year and was eager to step forward and co-create this with Heather and others. I have always had a deep love for critters and wildlife of all kinds, and have also celebrated and venerated St. Francis for many years, who has been called the patron saint of animals. In fact, St. Francis of Assisi has been the go-to guy when a celebration such as ours this morning comes around. And I think it's appropriate to mention him on an occasion like today. For what it's worth, his feast day is actually observed in the Catholic Church on October 4th, and we here at UUCL have customarily had this celebration in the month of October. Francis was a much beloved figure in his time. His love for his fellows, for animals, and for all the earth which supports all of us was noted by his contemporaries and by the leadership of the church in the 13th century. These are some of the reasons he has been considered for centuries to be a special patron for animals and for the environment. Francis is also, along with St. Catherine of Siena, the patron saint of Italy. And being Italian, that was of interest to me. Many may not know that as a young man, Francis, whose birth name was actually Giovanni, was a combat veteran, a lancer in the army of Assisi in their war against the competing city of Perugia. In fact, he was captured at the outset of that war and held for ransom by Perugian partisans. It was during this time in captivity, which lasted almost a full year, that young Francis fell grievously ill and began receiving visions, which would, in a very few years, lead him to embrace a life of poverty, simplicity, and most of all, a life of service to the Divine One, to all humanity, and all of God's creatures. In keeping with our theme, you might say that St. Francis was deeply listening to the voice of the Divine One and to all of his fellows and those we share the earth with. There's a well-known, well-loved story about a sermon Francis was said to have preached to some very attentive birds one day as he and some fellow travelers, monks Francis knew well and worked with and worshipped with, as they were all making their way through the Spoleto Valley in Italy. Francis, it is said, noticed that a huge flock of birds had gathered in nearby trees surrounding them. He felt that the birds were watching him as if they were anticipating something. Feeling divine inspiration, he decided to preach a sermon of God's love to them. It was an encouraging message about the Divine One's love and all-sufficient care. And then, as the story goes, the birds began to chirp and sing before they winged away to each of the earth's 4 directions to rejoice in and share this loving and pious man's message. So now we are preparing to bestow our finest and most heartfelt blessings on Mittens and Rover, and so many other friends who may walk or hop or crawl on 4 legs. I am not at all slighting our friends who flit about on 2 wings. We, as Francis did in his day, adore and care for them and give them our highest and most heartfelt blessing. Did you see what I did there? Highest blessing to the birds? Never mind. There I go again. Okay. A quick aside, just a quick personal thing. I'll never forget when Goofball the first, my beloved parakeet, flew the coop one day when we left the kitchen door open just a little too long. I cried for days. St. Francis loved well and cared for lepers and outcasts in his corner of the world and for all God's creatures, great and small. And that great love for the earth and all of her critters and creatures is something that we all share and are gathered to celebrate here today.
Thank you, Ben. Oh. Well, this is the moment we've been waiting for. It is now time to bless our animals. So I will invite humans and their animal friends to come up, probably one at a time, just in case. Give a short introduction to your pet, and then we will bless them. Do I have a helper? I'm sure I do. I must have a helper back there who wants to hand out some cookies. Dakota, yeah? Come on up. I don't have bird treats, but please bring the bird up anyway. Okay, so these are just for the dogs. We have no cats today, correct?
Oh, we have cat pictures.
We have cat pictures, yeah, okay. But no cats to actually give the treats to, so we'll just give them to the dogs. So who would like to come up first? Who's ready? All right. So please introduce your critter.
This is Chevy. He's the biggest, handsomest dog on the planet. Chevy, we got him from a shelter when he was about 3 years old. He just turned 9 on October 11th, so he's getting up there, but he is the best dog in the whole world. He is very lazy. I was afraid that he would be even too lazy to come here, but he has been doing great. And as many of you know, he loves attention. He has been making the rounds for pets all day. Thank you. That thing pops off all the time. He's said he's done now.
Oh, he knows who has the cookies.
Wait, he has a trick. Chevy, come here. Sit. Chevy. Sit. Good boy. That's his trick. If we all howl, he will also howl.
Oh,
So
we want to try?
do that.
Okay, are you ready?
He wants the treat.
Okay, Chevy, may you live a long and happy life. May there be food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. Thank you. Good job. Awesome performance, Chevy. All right, okay.
So I'm Julia, I'm also known as Whale Maiden, and I have several cats here in pictures. So the ones who have passed are Pluto, who was the world's best cat, and Mercury, who was also the world's best cat, and another picture of Mercury when she was a kitten. Yes, and then Neptune, who was also the best cat. And one day, the little girl across the street from me came over to visit and met at that time Pluto and Neptune. And then she wanted to come inside because she wanted to see all the rest of the planets. And we had to explain to her we only had Neptune and Pluto at the time. And she was very disappointed. But they've all passed away. Now my present cats are Grayson, who is the queen, and she is beautiful. And when she gets up, she doesn't sit like this. She has to twist and end up here on my shoulders. Bobcat, who got named that way because he has a little goatee like Bob Dylan. And Freddie Girl, who is the ballerina princess, and she's little, but she stretches out really long and is sort of like a slinky cat. And she's very, very snarky. So those are all the cats. And we say blessings to them.
Blessings to all of the cats that, well, may the ones that have passed rest in peace.
Yes.
And good memory. And for those that are still with you, may they live long and happy lives. May there be food in their bellies and a warm place to sleep, and joy in their days.
Thank you so much.
Blessings.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Bless the cats.
Okay, Presley's ready to give a treat out. Do we have Cooper or Callie? Who wants to come up? Cooper? It's your turn to get a blessing and a treat. Oh, well, look, what? Oh, no, I don't know about that.
All right. Come here. Okay, this is Cooper. Probably my favorite creature in the whole world. He's a little troublesome sometimes, but it's okay. I think he's been with me through a lot. Most notably, on both of us, the gain and loss of our cat, Oakley, which was probably his best friend and enemy. They had a combative relationship, but I think there was some love in there somewhere, and it was definitely difficult to see him grieve that loss, but I'm glad that he's still here with me now, and I'm happy that I'll have him with me at least for some amount of time in the future.
Cooper, I'm gonna put his head. Cooper, may you live a long and happy life. May there be food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. Thank you, Abby and Cooper. Oh, it's the bird's turn.
Hooray, the birdie!
Okay.
You can't really pet him.
Yeah.
Like he on the stage.
Yeah, she's.
You can't really
screaming. But you know what? I've met this bird before. She makes like kissy sounds, right? Chica. She's a little nervous. Aw, yes. Chica, may you live a long and happy life. May there be food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. I don't think you can have the dog treat. Blessings on you, Chica. Thank you, Sage.
No notes.
Come on up, Daniel. Bring Callie with you. Maybe Callie will like a treat, Presley. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. If not, we know Chevy will take it.
Good.
What's a treat?
Nope.
Nope.
If you lay it flat.
She's gonna hide behind me.
Do you want to introduce her?
This is Callie. I found her on my porch about 5 years ago. She's been with me since. We feed off each other's insecurities.
Okay. Callie, may you live a long and happy life. May there be food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. Aw, blessings on you, Callie. She ate it? Oh, good. I'm so glad.
No, it's not.
Aw, thank you, Daniel and Callie. Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
Okay, I have a picture of my cat Scout. She's Chevy's best friend. She was found in a dumpster when she was 3 weeks old. Now she's a year and a half. She likes knocking things on the floor and biting everyone. Yeah, and stomping on people.
Scout, you said?
Yes.
Scout, may you live a long and happy life. May there be food in your belly. Yes. A warm place to sleep for sure. And joy in your days. Aw, blessings.
So I'm kind of like a reformed crazy cat lady, so I have too many cats' names to mention. I'll just, that have passed, but currently I have Priscilla Pusley and Gabriel and Julio. Julio passed. I think I was meant to mention him then. Gabriel and his sister Faith, and she's completely deaf, and she's also special intellectually challenged cat. And then I recently got Prince Charming. He was a feral cat I was feeding outside, and he got injured in one of the storms, and he hasn't been back outside since. So I have those four: Prince, Prissy, Faith, and Gabriel.
Prince, Prissy, Faith, and Gabriel, may you live long and happy lives. May there be food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days.
Thank you, Heather.
Okay, come on up, Linda.
I have Bella, and Sophia. Sophie.
You'll have to look at the pictures that everybody has. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is long hair Siamese. Gorgeous.
Yeah, they're rescue cats that I got in California. I usually I've had as many, I think, as 7 at a time once, but down to 2, and just these 2. But I got them in a rescue service, and they're 4 years old, and they don't even though they're litter mates, they don't like one another, and they're like a little kindergarten kid, always coming and getting on my dress and everything and wanting me to follow them. And they actually know words, like they come to the kitchen and get my dress and they say, I say, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want a treat? And they'll go around and around and then want me to follow them in to get a treat. And, or if they want to go out on the deck, I say outside, yeah, outside, you want to go outside? And they would lead me outside, so they're the joy of my life right now, because I'm single, and they really bring a lot of joy to my life.
Bella and?
Sophie. Bella and Sophie.
Bella and Sophie, may you live long and happy lives. May there be food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Faisal, come on up.
Hello, my name is Vaisal. I have a picture of my dog Sky here. I have two dogs, Sky and Snuggy. Snuggy is old grandpa. We're taking care of him. We love him and we love her also, Sky. This picture, it's really hard to take Sky to like get in a bathtub or wash and stuff. After the hurricane, I was walking her and she just jumped in the ditch because the ditch was overflowed with the flood water and she just enjoyed the water. So I don't have Snuggy's picture handy, but we love them both dearly, so let's bless them.
You bet. Sky and Snuggy, may you live long and happy lives. May there be food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days.
Thank you.
Two dogs that passed away. So this in the memorial. Good morning. I know there may not be a memorial recognition of dogs, but there are two dogs that were very special in my life and in our family's life, my nephew especially. But growing up until I was 6 years old, from about 1 to 6, I had a collie named Trixie, and Trixie and I were inseparable. The legend has it, I'm not sure whether it's true or not, that Trixie actually saved my life by keeping me off the road, which was heavily traveled in Columbus, Ohio suburbs, and she could sense the cars coming, and I had the habit of running down a little ditch and running onto the road. And I don't know whether it was a game she played or not, but she would grab me by. I wore sort of short pants, but they were a little bit longer, and she'd grab me by the pant leg and drag me into the ditch. And every time I would go there, she would do that. That was a game she played, but my mother told me that she was looking out the window one day when I ran towards 6 years old, ran towards the road, and Trixie grabbed me, and just with a minute, seconds, a car came speeding by at a high rate of speed. So that the legend was that for good or bad, she saved my life. The other dog, I know there are a lot of service dogs, several here, but my nephew, Dean Love, he didn't win an Emmy for this one, but he won 2 other Emmys, or three Emmys actually. And he did a documentary film, but it was more of a story film, some documentary, but it was actually about a real dog named Smokey, who was the first service dog, and we have had the pleasure of showing this at one of our movie nights. But there are nine monuments throughout the world for his World War II heroics. And the movie is called Smokey, Angel in a Foxhole. It's available on YouTube. I'm not plugging it, it's a wonderful story. And it was an 11-pound Yorkie that became known as the first service dog because they took some of the pilots who were working in World War II in New Guinea they were aerial photographers. And he was able to sense when they were out, they took him on the planes, sense the Japanese planes coming by their sense of hypersense. But when a few of the pilots got shot down and they were in the hospital, the owner, who was from Cleveland, Ohio, took the dog, snuck him in a pouch, because the doctor who was what was the famous clinic in Minneapolis? Mayo, yeah. Dr. Mayo, one of the Mayo brothers, was actually the doctor in the field where the pilots got shot down and they were recuperating. So they would take Smokey in, sneak him in, because Dr. Mayo says no dogs allowed. So, but they saw the recovery of the pilots and the photographers remarkably after the Smokey encounters with Smokey. So Smokey, Angel and a Foxhole, available on YouTube. It's a wonderful show, and I want to honor both Trixie and Smokey for their contributions to the human world. Thank you.
Thank you. Our four-legged friends are amazing. Blessings on their memories. Okay. Well, I think we've got all of our animals in the sanctuary are blessed. Anne wants to share? Come on up, Anne.
When I was a toddler, we lived in the woods in the country, and we had a big fenced-in yard. And in the yard, Daddy had a little bull, and he kept this little bull in the yard too. And we also had a couple of hunting dogs, and we had a pecan tree, and so I had somehow or other learned to hold a pecan in my hand like this and say, "Crack it, doggy, crack it, lady," and either dog would crack the pecan and put it back in my hand, and I'd eat it, dog slobber, shells and all. That's why I am the way I am today. But anyway, Daddy, as time came along, and it was hunting season, so the dogs went with Daddy to go hunting. And so I'm out there in the yard with the pecans, and I go up to. I had also chased this little bull around with a stick, and I'm out there trying to get the bully to crack the pecan for me. Instead, he put me up against the fence and cracked me a little bit. But we all lived through it, and he didn't get butchered that day.
Thank you, Anne. Well, blessings to all the animals that couldn't make it here today. I have 2 dogs and a leopard gecko at home, so I'll bless them when I get home. And I know many of you also have cats and dogs and various creatures. So thank you all for sharing today. And I think we've got our closing words. And the animals were so well behaved. I mean, it's been noisier in here for sure with the dogs.
If you'll permit me, I'm going to recite the dog owner's prayer. Oh God, make me into the man my dog thinks I am. Had to. My furry, feathered, and scaled friends, may you be blessed. You come from the same life force of creation that I do, and I greet you as a sibling. May your days be filled with love and whatever else you may desire. May your tummy always be full, and may you have a place to rest. May you have many days of love with your human friends. May you play together and work together in gentleness and respect for one another. My furry, feathered, and scaled friends, I am happy to have met you. May your life be blessed. Now we'll sing the closing hymn, number 282 from your gray hymnal, Let the Whole Creation Cry.
it goes like this.
Please recite our chalice extinguishing words with me. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Wow, thank you all for bringing your furry friends with you. Yes, Jerry?
Just real quick before we head over for coffee hour, I don't know if Heather touched on it or not. We had a event here last night, which was absolutely fantastic. Greatly appreciate those that are here today that helped out last night. You were amazing. But we do have some leftovers, and you're welcome to them. This is directly primarily towards the children. We have a